Hello! I'm so excited today to do some fall makeup. I was digging through my collection and I found the Child palette, and these greens are just speaking to me, and I really want to do a little look with them and some other fall tones that I have in my collection. So let's get started. I feel like I haven't done a sit-down makeup video in forever, but it probably hasn't been that long, but I'm just excited to be doing this again. All right, I'm gonna start with my base, and first I'm gonna use this Spectral Shine highlighter from Phytosurgence, and this is in the shade Solar Sheen. It's like a light golden hue, and this texture is unlike anything else I've had in my collection. It's like a cream to powder highlighter, but it is super hard to the touch. Like, it's not malleable at all, really. But you can warm it up slightly with your finger to apply it, but I have the best luck just using a denser brush. I wish it was a little bit more dense, honestly, and just swirling it around in there, loading it up, and then I like doing it on the high points of my face for sure, but I've seen people use it almost as a primer, and that's what I'm gonna do today. So I realized that I had been on an unintentional no-buy for makeup for 8 months. The last time I bought makeup was in February, and it wasn't until my birthday, which happened a couple weeks ago, my husband got me a couple makeup things that I was like thinking about, and I was like, this is the first time I've added new makeup to my collection in ages. And I think just as someone who's been into makeup for a while, I feel like my collection is at a really solid place and it's hard for me to justify new purchases. But it makes me find other ways to enjoy makeup, like actually using it every day. I'm gonna put concealer on top of this, but I feel like this has an almost blurring quality. I think the most ethereal products that I own are the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, the ambient lighting powders from Hourglass, and then this little wonder. They just make you look like you are bathed in moonlight, and it is super lovely. Now I'm gonna do a little cream contour bronzing, whatever you wanna call this, with the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury in medium deep. And this is a little warmer than the fair one, so I feel like it's just a combo contour bronzer all in one. Actually, let me not do my whole face because it will definitely dry down. Yeah, I feel like this whole year I've just been dormant when it comes to makeup. I've just had my little rotation with products in my collection, but nothing new has really been coming in. I've had my go-to look, and now I'm just getting this itch to experiment more, and I want to create maybe a new signature look, try out different shapes for my eyes. I don't know. I've just got this urge to play around more. I also feel like even if regular launches during the year don't get me, it's the holiday stuff that does me in. Every year I'm so excited for the Hourglass palettes launch. I have one from 2020 and I got one from 2021 as a gift, the Tiger palette. 2022 was the Tiger palette. I feel like this contour wand is just impossible to mess up. I will probably buy another one of these. But I feel like I'm always so eager to pick up a new one of the Hourglass palettes because they have so many formulas in one container, and it's great for travel. I bring mine everywhere. I broke it because I travel with it so much. But neither last year nor this year's really spoke to me. It just felt like really repetitive and would be redundant in my collection. So I got to keep my $90, but I don't know, I'm just looking for something a little more exciting. Except that red shade that was in this year's Deepest palette looks stunning. But I would not spend $90 on a palette for a single shade. That's lunacy. All right, for cream blush, I'm using these Skin Spark blushes from Phytosurgence. I've got Smolder here and Sublimate here. Sublimate is giving like a ruddy red. It's a little bit muted, like brick that started to fall apart and turn into dust. And Smolder is giving almost like molded peach. There's just something very like earthy about it, and I love both of these for fall. Since I own so many blushes, I'm definitely going to be trying to layer them even more than I do. Like, instead of just cream blush and then a powder blush on top, let's do a couple cream blushes. Let's do a couple powders. I'm just mixing this on my hand to warm it up a bit so that it applies as smooth as possible. I mean, these are so creamy, but it's starting to cool down a bit. Want to make sure they're good to go. And then just with my fluffy brush, picking it up. I see celebrity makeup artists do that all the time, so I'm like, I will as well. Other holiday launches that have been speaking to me are the little quad from Urban Decay of the Moondos shadows. Before the swatches came out, I was really intrigued, but the same thing happened that happened to me last year. Ooh, I forgot freckles. Where I was so hyped for the palettes to come out, and then when they did, I was just like, these are not... It's like you're chasing that hive, the original Space Cowboy, and none of these are going to really replicate it, and adding them to my collection isn't bringing me any additional joy. I don't know. I just didn't think they looked super special or unique to other shimmers out there. And especially this one that just came out, I feel like the price was a little higher than I would have expected. But then again, the Urban Decay single shadows are like over $20, so as long as the quad isn't $80, you're really saving money. Speaking of, when I saw the prices for those Patrick Ta duos, I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, oh, I suddenly can't read correctly. Let me see them again, because I have to be making it up. $42. No, Patrick. And his palettes are $70 and have 12 shades. I don't know, maybe the pans of them are the size of your face, but that's just absurd to me. All right, now I'm using Sublimate, and this one I'm just gonna keep on the apples of my cheeks. I want that to almost give a little windswept blushing look. Whereas the peach is kind of your leftover tan from summer. Yeah, so I was looking at those duos and thinking maybe I would pick one up before the prices came out, and then I was like, I don't need to see, I'm done here. Which is disappointing because I like the idea of these two different shades that are in the same family. It looked really pretty. This blush feels so cute, so fall, but I think it's like distinctly fall, not quite winter yet. Also, this formula is just so nice. I think these are my favorite cream blushes because they come in so many different shades. I think there's something for you no matter your undertone or skin tone. And they just really feel like they're made with care and understanding about color. I love it. Now I'm gonna clean up everything a little bit with concealer, and I've got Glossy Guava from Kulfi and Playa from Tower 28. This one's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so I'm just gonna use a little drop of that underneath my eyes and the Kulfi everywhere else. I go back and forth between using my finger to blend out my under eye concealer and a brush, and I'm liking a brush right now. I feel like it's giving me the coverage that I need, as my sleep hasn't been the best lately, so it's been coming in clutch. That looks really nice. I'm gonna quickly set that with the finishing powder from Hourglass. This is their Ghost Unlocked palette, and I'm gonna take these two shades here, Soft Light and Filtered Light, and just mix them together. Oh my god, I didn't blend out my forehead. I got bit by a mosquito last night, just right in the center of my forehead. Or not entire center, because I got my little mole there, but right above it. And I'm like, this real estate is occupied. I do not need another bump there. I love using these finishing powders underneath my eye because it just makes it so soft and diffused looking, and it does not get all crepey. I need an eye cream recommendation if anyone has one, because it's getting to that point in my lifespan where I need it. All right, now let's move to the eyes. Ooh. Okay, for brows, we're too close right now. I'll put them up on the screen. I'm using the rom&nd brow fixer in clear and the Milani weekend brow in espresso. I don't know if there are any other makeup products right now that are catching my eye, but I'll tell you what I got for my birthday, and I'm absolutely in love with them. I got the Haus Labs gloss in Fig and the Makeup Forever pencil in Limitless Brown, and Ole Henriksen Strawberry Sorbet Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. All the new lip balms have been driving me crazy because these are catching my eye really hard, and I've wanted to try all of them, but I've had this weird skin thing where sometimes I'll use lip products and they'll either have fragrance or I don't know what's going on, but they make my lips so dry and flaky. And so I've just kind of been staying away from anything besides Aquaphor, but I heard really good things about the Ole Henriksen one, and the Haus Labs is fragrance free. So I put those on my wish list to my husband for my birthday, and he got me everything on my list, which is so nice. And I freaking love them. I love that shade Fig. It's not as pigmented as I feared. I like that you can build it up to make it look even more jammy. but just on its own, it's just a nice little plum tint. And then the Ole Henriksen one, I think it does have like fragrance. I'm not sure if it's natural or not, and like maybe that's making a difference, but it doesn't irritate my skin at all, and the strawberry smells so good. All right, I'm using the About Face eye primer, and this is the only primer that has not bothered my eyelids. I feel like also because I have such sensitive skin, that kind of makes me wary about new makeup products. I just would hate to spend a bunch of money on something and then it irritate me and I can't use it. And then I know you can just return stuff to Sephora, but I hate going through, 1, the hassle, and 2, the waste. So I just tend to stick to what I know, but it's so nice to try new things. All right, now let's get into the shadow. So unfortunately, this palette, this shade here, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't look it in the pan, but it just looks like super ashy and dry on my skin. So we're gonna be calling in reinforcements from Makeup by Mario. This is his Master Mattes. And I'm gonna use these 2 shades. Let me just set this a bit. Speaking of Makeup by Mario, I had to really listen to myself to not buy that new palette, the like midnight one, because I missed out on the Ethereal Eyes both times that it came out, and I swore that I wouldn't make the same mistake, because every time I see someone use it, especially those special shades, I just feel such intense jealousy. But I remember I went to Sephora to swatch it, and I knew I couldn't buy it because some of those shades were just way too light for my skin tone. I'm taking that deeper shade, the like more orange one, and I'm putting that in my outer crease. So this one looked a little bit better, but there's something about the navy that I just knew I wasn't gonna work with. Like, I don't really do super smoky looks on the daily, and I would want an eyeshadow palette that I buy to be something that I'm gonna use regularly. I already have enough things that I bought for like special occasions that I do not use, so I am good there. After I add it to my outer corner, I'm gonna bring it above my crease, and I'm gonna add the shimmer down here later. So I don't want it to be too low because I want the shimmer to take up as much real estate as possible. And I'm gonna take that same burnt orange shade on my outer lower lash line. All right, now for shimmer, I'm gonna go into the Child palette and use the shade Sippin' Soup. And I'm just gonna hit that with, some MAC Fix Plus for a little extra intensity. And I'm not gonna bring the shimmer all the way over. I kind of like just having it on the inner part. In my mind, it makes my eyes look a little bigger. Play along. Nice. I think in general, I just am not a fan of this like FOMO marketing for makeup products, especially with how expensive they've gotten. I think it's just like almost predatory, but I don't know, maybe there are valid reasons for making something limited edition, but I think it's always just to wring as much money as you can out of the consumer each calendar year. Especially in the case of Ethereal Eyes where they brought it back. I feel like we all have trust issues now. I love how this looks. This looks so cozy. Now I'm gonna take this liner from NYX. This is an All Time Olive, and I'm just gonna line here, just like the inner half of my under eye, and kind of fade it into that burnt orange shade that we put earlier. Ooh. I like that. I feel like I don't usually do much with my lower lash line other than putting just like a brown there. I like this a lot. All right, now I just want to put a little bit of a dark brown liner in the outer corner. Even though I feel like this looks pretty good on its own, I feel like I always stop myself from doing too much with a makeup look because I'm afraid of messing it up, but it's just makeup. Yeah, just something a little soft. I'm just gonna stamp over that with this dark brown shade from the Master Mattes, because that shade was like really dark, but I'd like to see a little chocolate in there somewhere. So if it's fall where you are, I'd love to hear what you're up to this season, if you have like a little bucket list you're working on. I feel like every season I definitely make a bucket list, but as far as like completing it, I don't know that I've been the best. So I've been trying to consciously work into my weekends all the stuff on my list I want to do. So I've got tickets to go apple picking, and then from the apple picking I'm going to be making hard cider, or like maybe a apple cider sangria, an apple crisp. I'm just excited to do some more baking. I'm also making good progress on my watch list. I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, the original one, and I thought it was going to be way more terrifying than it was. It was almost like very absurd. If you've seen Twin Peaks, parts of it reminded me of that, where it's just like, what's going on? And I love that. That is the biggest compliment. Yay, the eyes look so good. Okay, I'm gonna do mascara at the end after I set everything. So let's zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna do some powder bronzer, and this is the shade Casino from NARS. And I usually use a bit more of a dense brush with it, but I'm gonna go for something super fluffy today. I also watched the Scooby-Doo movie, the first one, for the first time. And oh my god. I love nothing more than just something super campy where everyone involved is just going for it. It just looks like so much fun. It's so much fun to watch. I imagine it'd be so much fun to make. I loved it. I kind of feel like a brush like this is the key to a super sun-kissed look, because it's like I can see the difference, but there's no discernible line of the bronzer. It just looks very soft. I've been seeing people with very bronzy foreheads, and I want one. Before I go in with the powder blush, I'm going to use a little bit of the Hourglass setting powder, because I know this is going to tone down my blush, and when I add the powder blush, I want to know exactly how much I need to re-add. This gives you such a soft airbrush look. I'm really glad that they have different shades, like the translucent medium I believe I have that has like that kind of golden undertone. It looks so good. Okay, we're having a really nice blush moment here, but I want to add even more, and this is the Heaven's Glow blush in Rococo from M Cosmetics, and this is almost like a rosy tan. My fingers look so sad. My eczema has been hard at work. Men at work? No, eczema at work. All right, I'm using this angled brush because I do want to pack on this color. See, I feel like it's bringing out the pink here, so maybe I'll concentrate it here and then fade it out. Yeah. I love doing your makeup and just feeling things come together in a way that you like. It is bliss. I feel like this would also make a gorgeous eyeshadow if you just wanted to do like a one and done look. All right, now that I've done all my powders, I'm gonna give everything a good spray with the MAC Fix Plus again. And while it's wet, I'm gonna do my inner corner highlight. This is a new trick I just came up with yesterday. I'm using my Broken Molten Gold highlighter by Maybelline on a little pencil brush. Ooh. Wow, that's bright. That's why I love it. A little bit on the tip of the nose and on the bridge. And maybe a little on the Cupid's bow. All right, let's do mascara real quick before moving on to the lips. Oh, also, I'd love to know what your favorite type of makeup content to watch is. I'm trying to get some ideas for what I'm going to be posting in the next couple months, especially in winter. Like, do you like watching swatching videos or reviews or like shop my stashes? I'm so nosy, so I love a good shop my stash. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in Blackest Black. I also love anti-hauls. Just get a little sassy and tell me why I don't need something. And it's like a way of keeping up with makeup news without having to be on Instagram all the time. I also love watching like Get the Looks. There are a bunch of people on like Instagram and TikTok that do, I guess, like niche makeup tutorials. I think you'd call it like Office Siren 2000s tutorial, like stuff like that. I gobble it up. I don't know, what do you think? Bottom lash mascara? I think it was the right choice, especially if maybe if you have a lot of like eyeshadow going on down there, it really finishes the look. Trying not to close my eyes while the mascara is still goopy. So let's move on to the lips. Using my new Makeup Forever pencil in Limitless Brown. Thank you, William. I've been liking just using it in the center of my lips, and I feel like it creates a shadow that makes them look even more plump. But I'll do the whole shebang today. I just got this enormous thing of Aquaphor for by my desk because my lips just get so dry, especially once the heat gets turned on. And I ordered it online, and so it said 7 ounces, and I didn't think that sounded that big, but it is quite big. Ooh. Ugh, but now I don't know. Does the purple from Fig look like it would go? Yes. I feel like it gives this like a vampy edge to the look. Like it was feeling almost kind of natural, like garden fall. And now it's feeling a little more, I don't know, like 90s? Dare I say? Oh, I really like it. Okay, now we can better see the full thing. This is so nice on the lips. It is so smooth, like it feels like your lips are just 2 ships passing in the night. There's no friction at all. This one, this little guy is a little more grippy, but I kind of like that thickness. It feels like it's really going to town to moisturize your lips. It's putting in work. This is just so sleek and silky. I'm really happy I have both of them, and I'm trying to not just go and buy more shades. But who knows what Christmas will hold. Okay, that is the full fall look. I am so happy I did this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I would love to hear what other videos you would like to see from me, and I just hope you have a wonderful season no matter what hemisphere you're in, and I will see you in my next video.